Haristutihi Shloka 28. Yuktyaaloड्य vyasavachamsyatra hi labhyaha kshetra kshetrajnantaravidbhihi purushakhyaha yoham sosau sosmyahameveti viduryam tam samsara dhvanta vinasham harimide. Anvayarthaha vyasavachamsi yuktya aalodya kshetra kshetrajna antaravidbhihi purushakhyaha atrahi labhyaha yaha aham asau saha ahameva asmi iti yam viduhu tam samsara dhvanta vinasham harim ide. Vyasavachamsi, the words of Brahma Sutra, that is the aphorisms, Brahma Sutras composed by sage Vyasa. There are more than 500 Brahma Sutras. These yuktya, with in-depth reasoning and analysis, alodya, after thoroughly deliberating on them, kshetra kshetrajna antaravidbhihi, the knowers of the difference between this body, the field, and the knower of this body, kshetrajna, purushakhyaha, when they know that this one known as Purusha, atrahi labhyaha, can be known here itself in the form of Sakshi Chaitanyam, witness consciousness. And how do they know? Yaha aham, that Paramatma is one who is known as I. Asau saha, this one known as me is that Paramatma. So, ahameva asmi, that Paramatma, indeed I am. Iti yam viduhu, in this way, the one Paramatma who is understood, tam samsara dhvanta vinasham harimide, I worship that Hari, the destroyer of ignorance which causes samsara. Veda Vyasa, he classified the Vedas into 4. It's supposed to have been a huge body of knowledge. So that for ease, he classified into 4 in such a way that studying one Veda, you will know everything. Mantras are put together in such a way that in one Veda itself, everything said in all the 4 Vedas can be obtained. So, performing the rituals which are ordained by the Veda will give rise to the desire, I want to know Brahman. And that is the content which is taught in Vedanta. Now this I want to know is known as jignasa in Sanskrit. Jnatum ichha jignasa. I want to know what is Brahman. Iti, that desire is born after having lived a certain disciplined life as stipulated by the Veda. Further to that, one will gain chitta shuddhi, that is a mind which is prepared to receive the knowledge of Brahman. In other words, one will gain what is known as sadhana chatushtaya sampattihi, the 4-fold qualification which will make the mind available and ready to receive this knowledge. So then, having gained sadhana chatushtaya sampattihi, one will have more focus in learning Vedanta. Subsequently, Shraddha and Bhakti, that is a commitment and love to learn about Brahman, will arise. To such a qualified intellect, Vedavyasa wrote the meanings of the Upanishad statements as Brahma Sutras. Now, to understand Brahma Sutras, one needs appropriate teacher. The aphorisms are available, and Bhashyam, commentary for that is also available. But this has to be taught. Only then one can understand Vyasacharya, what he has written. Now, Vyasacharya has also given us Bhagavad Gita. Swarupa of Bhagavan is taught in a understandable language in the Bhagavad Gita. So, these Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita must be studied, and the words must be contemplated upon thoroughly and logically. So, that is what is mentioned in the beginning of the shloka as Yuktya Alodya Vyasa Vachamsi Atra hi Labhyaha. So here Yuktya Alodya means these words of the Upanishads must be deliberated and contemplated upon in a structured, logical manner, which means not just listening but recalling the words and trying to understand the meaning implied by the words. This is very important. So, like this, the words of Vyasa Vachamsi, which are known as Brahma Sutra, and the sentences in Bhagavad Gita, even they also must be contemplated upon. Then what happens? Labhyaha, you will obtain what? Kshetra Kshetrajna Antaravidbhihi. You will obtain that Atma Tattvam, that reality about the Atma, the truth about the Atma. That Atma Tattvam you will understand how? When being taught by those who know the difference between the field and the knower of the field. Kshetram is the body, and the indweller of this body or the knower of this body is Kshetrajna. And this Kshetrajna is always present in the heart but not known at all. If you do an analysis, you will see that the light of consciousness, Jyoti Swarupa, always inheres in every action. That's how cognitions take place. The Chaitanyam, consciousness, with the mind and the eyes will be able to see. So in that action of seeing, consciousness inheres. So like that, consciousness with the mind and the ears. That is, consciousness is reflected in the mind, and then whatever hearing has to take place with the ears, it will take place and it will be known. Same way, consciousness with the mind and the nose, one will be able to perceive smell. Then consciousness with the mind and the tongue, both talking and eating can happen. So like this, in every understanding, in every cognition, there is Chaitanyam present. Now what is this Kshetram? As we saw even in the previous verse, Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita has defined Kshetram as Idam Shariram. Idam Shariram Kaunteya Kshetram Ityabhidhiyate. So this body is known as a field. So now what do you do in a field? You prepare the ground, sow seeds, and then reap the harvest. And you repeat this every season. Similarly, in this body, repeatedly seeds of punya and papa are sown. And then happy, sad, sukha dukkha experiences are the karma phala which are enjoyed repeatedly. In spite of this, what do some of us do every day? We do recite Vishnu Sahasranamam, listen to some Ramayana Katha, Mahabharata Katha, etc., which gives us some peace of mind. So, that Purusha spoken about in the Itihasa, Purana, Smriti, Bhagavad Gita, and the Upanishads, that Purusha about whom we listen, to whom we offer worship, that is the only thing which gives us peace. So, Kshetra Kshetrajna Antaravidbhihi Purushakyaha. Knowing the difference between Kshetram and the Kshetrajna, then that Purusha Swarupa, Purusha Akhyaha, who is that? One gets to know. In what form? Yo yaha aham saha asau saha asmi ahameva iti yam viduhu. So this is the process of knowing. That is yaha aham saha asau. One who I always refer to as I, indeed is that this Paramatma. Yaha aham saha asau. That one who I am calling as I am awareing as I, indeed is this Paramatma. Then it is that Paramatma remaining inside everyone as self-effulgent, Swaprakasha Vastu. It is He that I have been calling all the time as I. Who is it that I have been referring to as I? That Paramatma who is dwelling within me. So, Yaha Aham Saha Asau. Where is this Aham, I? In your heart. Hridi. It was mentioned in another verse earlier. So, Yaha Aham, when we say, who am I? Then the awareness of I is coming from within us. The awareness of the I is coming from inside of us. So the knowledge of I awareness comes from within. If you inquire into these actions, when we say, I see, I walk, I run, I hear, I eat, I talk, etc. like this. In the end, you will arrive at Soham, Saha Aham. Paramapurusha is Ham Saha Soham. When you say Aham Saha, Saha Aham. Aham Saha, I am that Paramapurusha, and Saha Aham, that Paramapurusha is indeed the I. This is the teaching of all the Upanishads. Like this, the identity between I, the Jivatma, and Paramatma, who is known as somebody far away, is very much within me. So I, the Jivatma, am not different from Paramatma. Iti, because that Bhagavan is like this within us, we are able to perform all the actions. This should be very well contemplated upon and understood. One who is understood like this, Yam Viduhu, Iti Yam Viduhu, Tam Samsara Dhvanta Vinasham Harim Ide. I offer prayers to that Paramatma, knowing whom the darkness of samsara will be destroyed. Like this, every day one shloka should be studied and contemplated upon by yourself alone. For this kind of contemplation only, more than 500 aphorisms, Brahma Sutras, have been given to us by Vedavyasa. Then there are Bhagavad Gita shlokas also given by Vyasacharyaha. In other words, to eliminate the disease known as samsara, Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutras are the medicines given to us by Vyasacharya, so that the restlessness, anxieties in your mind, everything can be reduced, and the dualities of sukha dukkha causing pain in your life can be eliminated. Sorrow will come, but it will last for some time. One can never know for how long. The key is to be able to forget dukkha while you are awake. In the Jagrat Avastha itself, you should be able to forget dukkha, because it is only in the waking state that the dualities affect us. In deep sleep, there are no thoughts, thoughts will not exist. So, while awake, one should be able to handle sorrow. Giving the mind food for thought in the form of Bhagavan Nama and then Vedanta Vichara, these will cause the mind to forget hurtful, painful thoughts and the worrying thoughts. So, therefore, Yoham sosau sosmyahameveti viduryam tam samsara dhvanta vinasham harimide. युक्त्यालोड्य व्यासवचांस्यत्र हि लभ्यः क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञान्तरविद्भिः पुरुषाख्यः योऽहं सोऽसौ सोऽस्म्यहमेवेति विदुर्यं तं संसारध्वान्तविनाशं हरिमीडे. नमस्ते.